Recording live from the Northeast Georgia Business RadioX studio, this is Northeast Georgia Business Radio presented by Regions Bank. Start building your financial confidence at Regions Bank. Member FDIC, an equal housing member. Welcome back, folks, to another exciting edition of Northeast Georgia Business Radio. I'm your host, Tom Sheldon. And yeah, we're coming to you live from the beautiful Empower College and Career Center of Jackson County. I have with me a guest that, well, he just gets you there. Take that however you want it. With me today, Mr. Will Cape, Capable Transport. Will, welcome to the Northeast studio.
Tom, it's been great to be here and chat with you. It's a wonderful studio, and
thank you.
Looking forward to this episode.
Man, we're just hanging out.
Hey, it's the best.
That's what we do. What we need to do is take a long road trip in one of your trucks, man. And we'll just record the whole thing.
Of course. You might as well at that point.
That'd be fun.
I know, there's several team drivers, believe it or not, that
I believe it.
Have gotten famous off of TikTok, YouTube and all that.
We can monetize it.
It's a monopoly at that point, just take it and run with it.
Well, if it's me and you know it's going to be a monopoly.
Oh, I mean, naturally.
Yeah.
There's no other way to put it.
Exactly. All right. I'm going to schedule some time. No, I don't know. I don't know if the redhead would like that. My producer's over there shaking his head yes. Capable Transport. You get product A to location B. Did I say that right? That didn't make any sense.
It's A to B, but it's not limited to B. There's C and D.
There can be multiples.
It can be multiples. Several dealership deliveries, finished units, all that of the such. So
I have no idea what you just said.
Like a family event, think like a holiday of some sort, especially coming into a new family, right? Been married 7 years now, so I've finally learned.
You should be beyond that point.
I am beyond the point with all family members existing right now. Starting out, it was a rough time to where I was like, I'd go in, have to have like a 30-minute talk about the famous question, what do you do for a living? And I have arrived at, I'm in transportation. That's all I say because, there's some people that get it and they really enjoy it. They want to learn more about what you do. And there's some people that just, it goes right over their head and they're just like, man, it's essentially, somebody will call in and have to move some freight, whether that's one pallet, two pallet, couple boxes, full truckload, what have you.
Now, your mama owns this.
She does.
She started it.
She's second owner. So my dad started. Okay. He started back in 1990, I'd say 93.
Back in them 90s.
90s, yes.
Days you don't remember.
I always say, I'm like, how did you get confirmations out, when you had to outsource to another carrier? And
pigeon.
I said carrier pigeon. I really did. Yeah. And he goes, we used to have to fax.
Yes, we faxed a lot of things.
He asked me, he's like, do you know how to use one of those? Do you know what it is? And I'm like, I can figure it out, I guess. And no, I cannot. And my age showed very quickly there. He's been doing that. Then he was working for somebody else, decided back in 2007, during the market crash of all years, to start a business. Hey, let's start a business.
Why not?
Right?
Why not?
Been running ever since, man. So he's out of the picture now. I came back on. I've always been around it. With it being a family business, you never really get out of it. So I remember us, Disney World. He's answering phone calls, and he's asking me to, like, if he'd be driving down the road, hey, respond to this email, So I got into it very quickly. Went to college in 2014, got out in 2017, and, did a little interning when we had some time away. Mm-hmm. Played football in college, and then they'd only give you so many weeks a year that you're, like, off the leash to where you're at home.
Oh, I got you.
So during that time, I was working, trying to learn. It wasn't really my field of choice. Per se, I wanted to be a chiropractor.
I was about to say, what did a young Will Cape want to be?
I was going for chiropractor. Got that football schedule, the 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. to where they pretty well own your life and say, by the way, science classes that are really hard that people struggle with on their own when they're not working, you're going to have to do that and play football. And I said, business major, got it. Started in 2017, and my dad and mom kind of stepped away, I'd say 4 years after. Been kind of managing the company since as a second-generation owner.
Nice. Now, your sister's involved?
She is not.
She's not?
She is not.
We had to shout out the sister.
Of course. With Abby, if you're listening.
She is.
She is. She really is. Yeah. She's probably playing this with her 3 kids sleeping in the car or something, driving from point A to point B. She does freight transportation too, just with kids.
With kids. With kids, yeah. And Uncle Will's voice is just rocking them to sleep.
Of course.
That's what it is.
I mean, that's just what it does to most people,
I got to ask, where'd you go to school?
Kennesaw State.
Kennesaw State.
Yeah, went to
I hear
North
you.
Hall High and then transferred.
We won't hold that against you.
Hey,
North Hall. We won't hold that against you.
One of my best friends on this world is Xavier Harper, and this is a Jackson County boy, homegrown. So that was my receiver. We had a great relationship still to this day. Are in touch and kind of see each other off and on when we can.
Wow, what are we doing? 17 years? 17 years? 16, 17 years?
17, something like that. So
and I know the generic answer to this. How have you done it for 17 years? How'd you do it for 17 years?
We did it.
Showing up
showed
every day.
up.
It takes a little more than that, unfortunately.
It's always fun because talk about market metrics and all that with the consumer confidence levels, whether it be in construction materials. Houses are booming and they're throwing them up left and right. Hey, we're moving a lot of loads because that material's got to get to the site somehow. When consumer confidence goes down, you weather the storm to where there's not as much buying power anymore. So your volumes go up and down based on that. Whether you're doing like a toy of some sort, right? So like think like a utility vehicle. When there's more spending money, somebody's going to buy more of those. Yeah. But when money's tight, they're not going to buy as many of those. So they're not going to ship as much during that time. So
makes sense.
You kind of just figure out how to get and diversify your portfolio as far as your commodities hauled and your customers you're involved with.
Now, do you actually own trucks?
We do, yes.
You do have some trucks?
Yep. We're over 100 trucks. I feel like we're at 108. I know I feel like
100-ish?
It's like, yes, 100-ish. It's like you should know the exact number. I would, but it's buying and trading.
Well, it's not like you have 4.
It is not like we have 4.
You would know that. I hope you would know that.
I
think we got 4, right?
You should know what your drivers are eating for breakfast if you have 4.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
100 plus. It's a little more to keep in touch with.
Across the nation?
Across the nation, yeah.
Over the road?
Over the road, yeah. Local and over the road. Our bases are in Fort Wayne, Indiana, as well as Oakwood, Georgia over here. So, we touch greater Atlanta area locally. Fort Wayne, they do their local up there. We're very well positioned in the Fort Wayne office to where we can hit Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, and even Illinois with a day cab. Starting to do a couple drop yards in the middle of the country. So
really?
Mm-hmm. Relaying
I
drivers.
Hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
The hours of service, man. You got to really just crank it out.
Yeah. Well, you got to take advantage of them, but you can't abuse them.
It's not legal to abuse them anymore.
I know.
You got on that clock. Once that clock starts rolling, you got to be moving.
A world of hurt if you start abusing that.
The old saying, if the wheels aren't turning, you're not earning, Bubba.
That is true. Hey, that sounds like one of those 70s movies we referenced off air. Never mind. Our producer's not paying attention.
I was about to say, that's a sore subject, isn't it?
Our producer's not paying attention. But I yeah, here comes the sound effect. Nice. I knew that was going. Man, where were we before the crickets played? 2-part question.
Okay.
It may just be one answer. There's a new railway coming.
There is.
Are you sending, let me rephrase that, are you picking up freight from the ports now? Second part, how is that railway going to change, hopefully for the better for you, if at all?
If anything, we are picking from the ports now.
Okay.
And, most of that freight comes out of Savannah, the port down in Panama, what have you.
Yeah.
And with the inland port situation that we have coming to Hall County, it's going to be a major shift because all these containers that come from ships, right? So think of container like you see a cargo ship. Famous bridge got hit, in Maryland a couple weeks ago, I guess. It feels like months at this point.
Been a little while, yeah.
Those containers will come in. They'll come off a ship. They'll get on a drop yard. They'll get loaded on what's called a chassis, which is just think of a trailer that they just put those carts on and they're secure.
They crane them on. They drop them on.
That's coming into the state. Mm-hmm. So whether that be via rail, via truck, you only have about 300 miles if you're draying is what the phrase is. So there's 300 miles because you have to return from where you started. You can go 300 miles inland from the port, but if the port is now in Hall County, it expands your point of origin.
Okay.
So it's really just more for infrastructure. We're going to see a lot more buildings. Manufacturers come to the area. Kubota's a huge player up here already, and they're very heavily involved in those chamber events over there.
So the new inland port, the massive railway they're putting in, that's going to help you?
Yes.
Okay. You said that with a smile.
I did.
For those who can't see you.
You may have heard it there. I feel like there's 18 lanes from the last chamber event that we went to.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's
insane what they're going to do over there.
It's just the volume is cranking out. Some of the metrics and the maps that these guys were putting out on display for us and kind of explaining the impact to the region. It was something else to see. It kind of, if you have an idea of what change and what metric and how big this thing is, you go to one of those specific meetings and they give you some numbers and some dots to connect, and you're like, This is a big deal.
It's almost unbelievable.
It's going to be huge for Georgia. I don't know who specifically was involved in this planning process, but whoever it was, my hat's off to them.
Bless them for it. Now, being located in Gainesville, Oakwood, do you think there's any advantage at all for you?
Oh, of course.
Is there?
Yeah. When there's a home base over there, that's your starting origin. So your driver's hours of service starts immediately on the ground.
True.
We're utilizing all the clock. We also have bases to where I can go out and see folks in person.
I hear you, man. Hey, we're going to take a real quick break. We're going to get in a community partner. Folks, we will be right back. One of our great community partners is Bistro to Go Time to Cater. Owners Keith and Mindy Moser consistently spoil their patrons and catering guests. For that next special event, corporate, private, or even your next wedding, there is no event too big or too small. And don't forget their physical location in Jefferson. Perfect meal for all your cravings. Visit time2caterbistro.com. That's time, THYME, 2caterbistro.com. And while you're at it, check out our new website, negabrx.com, to see all our great community partners. Will, you still there?
I'm still here. I'm awake, believe it or not.
I hear you,
I saw
man.
that caffeine we were talking about earlier.
I was about to say, did you go get some more NO Explode or something? Or
they tampered that one down.
the C4?
It's something else these days. You got to kind of cycle. They catch wind of whatever is a good one, and they water it down pretty quickly.
Consider it not to be, yeah. If I did that stuff anymore, for those scoring at home, we were talking about pre-workouts before we went on air, and I made it very clear if I did any of that today, it would kill me.
Well,
it'd be the end. I'm an old man. I just couldn't do that anymore.
There are severe warnings that I have from various people in my life that are like, you should probably dial it back a little bit. And I'm like, hey, welcome to transportation. Okay? This is a necessary evil.
Welcome to transportation. All right, talking about transportation, we brought up the inland port.
Right.
Very cool. That's gonna be
huge.
Super awesome for this area. But where is capable transportation going? Your future is not just an inland port.
Correct. Yes. And, that's just for the Georgia, the Southeast office down here. We actually are investing in ourselves, believe it or not, which is, a good sign of growth. And when you pour it back into the company, we have updated to the Cadillac of all TMSs. TMS, it's Transportation Management System.
Oh, it's a system.
Yes.
I was about to say there's like a shot of penicillin for that or something. I don't know. I'm a host. I don't know.
Right. Think about an Excel spreadsheet that you keep everything together with, and now put a pretty face on it and a lot of little cute buttons and some colors.
And you have a Cadillac TMS.
Yes, user interface is
GM's
great.
going to sue us for saying that.
I guess at this point, I told you before we got on here, I was like, look, I'll say what I can say, but you may have to edit some parts out. Who knows?
Oh, we can edit. Now, you're developing that, or you're using that, or both.
So we actually purchased the software. It's kind of like one of those hush-hush deals about we were not really supposed to get on that server. Through some good relations and negotiations, we locked down a price point, and we're excited about what that'll do for our speed of access for sure.
Make things more efficient.
Of course.
Good.
It's there's no way else to grow. These days it's more so about how much time you can save versus how many seats you can hire. If you can crank out more loads per seat, it's all about efficiency at that point.
Do you think, I know the answer to this, and the answer is probably no. Do you think, could everyone use more drivers, more rigs on the road, more availability? I don't want to say is there a shortage, but is there always a need for more?
Well, you're married, correct?
I am.
Yeah. How many Amazon packages do you get a day? 'Cause I know the answer to my question.
A day?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 2 or 3 a day.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
my wife knows the Amazon delivery guy by name.
we
leave water in the winter, in the summer for him, coffee in the winter.
There you go.
I'm not exaggerating.
You can't cuss on the radio, but I'll tell you this: if people quit buying crap, you wouldn't need trucks. But so long as people are buying crap, hey, guess what? There's
you
a need.
Trucks.
Yes, sir.
There's always a need for more
There's
drivers.
Always going to be a need. We had a severe driver shortage right before the COVID era when everything was kind of taking off in the market. I feel like that's kind of come to terms now because, the driver pay scale adjusted to be reflective of what market industry standards are.
Gotcha.
With that being said, though, think about the consumer in the end of line, I guess, in the purchasing product.
Yeah.
If stuff costs more to ship, if drivers are getting paid more, your product is going to cost more.
Everything goes up.
Hence, that's what inflation's all about.
Isn't it, though? Let's see. Family business. Your dad started it. Your mom got involved. Now you're running the deal. I hear mom is spending time with grandbabies now.
A lot of time.
That is awesome.
It's great for her.
That is super awesome.
Depends on what day you ask her,
Well, I'm sure. Or maybe what time of day. But still, that's a lot of transition. I grew up in a family business. All right? Not easy. For me,
it's
never easy. Never easy. So if there's ever comes a time you can preach to the choir, man, you can say whatever you want to me, and I'm going to sympathize with you.
Get up on my soapbox here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, here we go. It's been fun. It really affects your personal relations, I guess, more so.
Oh, it does.
You know, you go
Unfortunately.
from being someone's kid, essentially, to, hey, now you're in charge of my livelihood.
Yeah.
And, hey, by the way, if you screw it up, it doesn't just hurt you. It hurts you, your mom, your dad, your sister, your friends.
Oh, yeah.
I
never had that problem, Will.
Well,
I have no friends. So.
You have me. How about that?
Well, you're my only friend, and you've only known me for a few hours.
There we go. Hey, I make friends quickly. So
Good.
We have a lot of my friends and family that are still in the industry and in our company. And the reason being is because you want to work with somebody that you like, know, and trust.
Yeah.
And over the years, we've gone up in employees, we've gone back, and we've kind of gradually just been increasing. It's not like a huge number of increase, like 1 month it's this, 1 month it's that. It's over the course of like a six month to a year period to where you really kind of make a transition during peak season and all that for coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Holiday season.
Holidays around the corner.
People order stuff.
Oh, yeah. On steroids.
It's fun. It definitely changes your personal relationships with your friends as well.
I can imagine.
Some of these guys, the people that I have in place, we were like that as a friend group. It was always, hey, what do y'all want to do? And I would kind of make some sort of a decision, and we'd just roll with it. That's kind of still what we do.
Now it's like, hey, what do y'all want to ship? Will's like, we're going to ship that over there.
Yeah, wow. I wish it was that easy, man. That'd be great.
Oh, man, you can handle it. Just snap your fingers sometimes.
Click my heels twice.
Yes. Segue, what is an ideal customer? I'm worried that those listening aren't exactly sure what it is you do.
Okay.
You line up getting, if someone has a need to get their freight, their delivery to someone else or else's.
Correct.
You not only supply that, but you can also line it up.
Correct. So
I hate using the word logistics. That is such an overused word in the last 20 years.
And
but there are logistics involved.
Well, supply chain is the other one.
Okay.
People all the time,
supply chain.
They'll have their LinkedIn title or something and be like, I'm in supply chain. And you try to explain it, and you're like, are you really? You just kind of one part of this. Yeah.
Everyone uses supply chain. The landscaper doesn't show up. Oh, supply chain.
Like,
wait a minute. What are you got a mower?
Right.
What are you talking about?
It's been a popular excuse these days.
Supply chain.
We are top to bottom. So like you just said, somebody needs to move something, they get in touch with us. And so long as we're set up as a vendor to where we have a credit application in place, we have customers that move over $5 billion of freight a year. And
how much?
$5 billion.
Billion with a B.
Billion with a B in freight spend. Yes.
Wow.
Huge guys. But then we also have the farmer down the road that's got one load a month that's like, hey, I'll wire you ACH or whatever it is. And guess what? He's taken care of.
Well, that one load to him is as important to that $5 billion for Company X.
And you know what? They treat it like that as well. And,
darn right.
They come to us for that reason, because they want to work with somebody they like, know, and trust.
That's the whole thing. Now, rumor has it you recently threw some stuff on the back. I shouldn't say throw. You threw some stuff on the back of your pickup and got it over there.
It was a white glove type delivery situation.
Well, of course it was.
Very important customers of ours, and some prototype product, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
And they said,
they didn't swear you to secrecy?
They did. That's why
they did.
That's why I don't say any names,
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't even brought it up.
Oh, no, it's fine. They all know.
I think it's just pretty cool that you did it. It'd be easy for a lot of people to say, I got that tea time at 3:30. I just can't make it. I got an appointment. I can't. We'll have to put you off, and it'd be real easy to do, man.
Well, I'm married too, so those tea times are few and far between.
Well, that's true, and you have babies too.
Yes, very young, 3 and 1. So we're in the thick of it right now. Believe it or not.
Man, before we get out of here, there's a website.
There is a website.
What's that website?
That is capablemoves.com.
Capablemoves.com. You are on LinkedIn. You're on Facebook.
I'm on LinkedIn. We also have company Facebook. Mine's WillCape28. I feel like it's the / but you'll see it. There's only so many Will Capes in the Gainesville, Georgia area.
True.
I haven't ran into another one yet. So,
true. And you technically have a storefront.
We do.
So someone local, they need something moved, they can come see you.
They can come see me.
Literally walk through the front door.
That's
cool. That's cool. I hear you don't move mobile homes.
It's we can. We just don't.
You just
have it.
Try to avoid.
Yeah. That's when you get up that way, we haven't split a house in half yet to move that, but we do some oversized loads, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Up to 100 feet.
I'll drive the pilot car, man.
Hey, that'd be fun.
That's the closest to Smokey and the Bandit.
Of course. I mean, that's what we need. We just keep coming back to the reference.
Pilot car, blocker. It's kind of the same thing. Depends on the guy driving it.
It's like,
Producer's really looking at us.
pest control and radio business and then pilot car. You
had to bring it pest control.
Natural progression.
Well, I drove for a living, so I'd be great at the pilot car. I would. Actually, I would. Website, capablemoves.com.
Yep. And that's for anybody that is, in manufacturing and all. If that's something that's like farm equipment, we're heavily involved in agriculture business. We're here for you. Whether you're at a big place or a small place, we're here.
Awesome, man. They're going to play my music in a second. Sweet. Well, thanks for coming in, brother.
Hey, loved it. It was
I
a
hope
great
you
time.
enjoyed it.
That was awesome. I love talking to you.
We had a good time.
You're going to have me back, right?
Oh, yeah. You're always welcome here. You know that. CapableMoves.com, folks. You need something moved. These guys can handle it. I'm Tom Sheldon. Talk to you soon.
Savings goals keeping you up at night? Let a Regions banker help you build a Regions Green Print plan, a free financial roadmap personalized for what matters to you. Start building your financial confidence. Visit Regions.com to find a branch near you. Regions Bank, member FDIC.